Okay, YouTube. Skater Conster here. I was requested by another one of my YouTube fans to do a tutorial on a polymer clay lighter cover. Now, I've made quite a few of these. Right now I only have 2 available because most of the other ones I've already sold or given them away as gifts. Now, the ones I made are detachable, so they're interchangeable. That means you can remove them, and when the lighter is dead, you can change it out. You can do these with Bic lighters. You can do them with the cheapo ones that you can get at the Dollar Tree, and you can also do them with Zippos and any lighters you have laying around the house that you wanted to cover. In the United States, if you're below the age of 18, you are not legally allowed to buy lighters. So I do not condone to anybody under the age of 18 that you go and try to purchase a lighter yourself. You can get in big trouble, unless of course you do have parental consent. Then I guess it would be okay, but that's up to your parents. So I suggest 18 and older for this tutorial. So today I'm going to teach you just pretty much how to make the base of these lighters, and then you can add the decoration after I teach you the base. The supplies you're going to need are non-stick pieces of tin foil. I got these rental wrappers, like they're the single pieces at the Dollar Tree. You're going to need the colors of polymer clay that you're going to use today. Let's see, what am I going to use? Alright, so what you're going to do is pick out the lighter you're going to use. So I'm going to use a blue lighter that I got these in a 3-pack from the Dollar Tree. So remember to wipe your hands off with baby wipes before you work with your projects so you don't get any lint or anything on it. Clean your workspace free of lint. I am going to cut a small piece of this foil, almost as big as your lighter. Now this is going to be the foundation of what you're going to work around. Okay, and then you can do the trimming afterwards. So you're going to wrap it around your lighter pretty much as tightly as possible to avoid slip. And try to even up the foil as much as you can. I know sometimes it's kind of hard to do that because it's so flexible. Oops, tore a little bit. It's okay. Now try to press it down as much as you can to fit. Now cut your excess foil off and press it down as much as you can to fit around the bottom. Now, you got the base to your lighter. Set your lighter aside. Now we're going to grab some clay for the base color. So I wiped off my hands. I'm going to work the clay. And then I'm going to evenly roll out the yellow clay, which is going to be, of course, the base of our lighter. Now we're going to do a little bit of shaping. Take out part of my straight edge and choose where you want your line to end on the lighter. So as you can see here, it's not all the way to the top, which is good. You want it not all the way to the top. And pretty much make a line right about there. Okay. Evenly slice it. There. About an even line. Now we're going to do the wrapping process. Now you want to make sure this flatness is completely even, because sometimes it will look kind of weird if it's uneven, so make sure it's evenly rolled out the way you want it to be. For covering the bottom, now you don't want to cover up the bottom all the way, just so there's a little tiny hole for people to remove the lighter when they need to change it out. Now from here, you're going to carefully start to wrap. Wrap it around, press the sides so it's evenly on there. Remember to not overlap. Now I got some unevenness over here, so trying to flatten it out just a tidbit, but I'm not trying to ruin the detail too much. By picking it up, creating a line where you're gonna stop it, and then simply slice it, flip it around, and press it down the way you want it. Now we will be shaping these. So it should look like that right now. Now at the bottom here, I do have a little edge being exposed. You can just stretch that down a tidbit. Now you're gonna want the lighter to be flat on the sides so it stays. Or if it's a bic, you know, it would be rounded. You can glue these into lighters after they're baked. Plus, if you flatten it, it'll easily fit to the lighter shape. You're going to press the bottoms down so it fits over the bottom. It's like little lips for your lighter. You can make the bottom look fancier later, but that's just for it to stay on. Now we're going to smooth out the other side. So that way when your customer, your friend, or you are changing it out, you can push it through. Now, if like your lighter cover doesn't stay on your lighter, for your first time making them, it is okay to keep the sticker on the lighter. And so when you want to remove your lighter, just put a very, 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 very tiny, tiny dab of super glue on it, on the sticker. So when you do go to remove it, it just kind of rips off the sticker with it. So that way you can still change it out. Now it's still pretty slidey. So you're just gonna press as much as you want to get it to fit for the most part. Squeeze it down until it just has a snug fit on the lighter. or however you desire. Sometimes I pinch the edges a tiny bit to give it like a square look, and sometimes it holds the lighter a little better. Just go around. Okay, now you can smooth out the air bubbles. So if you don't get it the first time, do not get discouraged, just keep trying. Okay, now it has more of a snugger fit on the lighter. Now to get the clean edges on the top, you can just do another straight edge on it. Just a tiny bit. Now if your clay gets just way too soft and unmanageable, you can always put this in the fridge for about 10 minutes before you bake it, or if you need to decorate it more, because I've had to do that before, and the fridge works for that, to harden it a little bit. And remove the excess. So, it doesn't look bad when you leave a space at the top. Like, that's what I did for the last lighters. Okay, now I'm just gonna do a tiny bit of detail just to give you more of an idea of how else you can decorate them. So I thought since I had a yellow background for the decoration, I do kind of like a Pokeball from Pokemon theme. I would do blue trim and pretty much just make a Pokeball out of red and white and black dot. And like that. Sorry, it's kind of out of focus. Okay. Clean up my scraps. I'm gonna go get the lighter and show you how to add your gadget. Okay, so my lighter's been in the fridge for a bit to harden the outside. I thought what I'd do is add the trim that I wanted to the lighter before I add the gadget, which is the Pokeball, of course. So just roll out your trim a little bit to make it even. Now I'm just gonna do the thin ones like you see right here. Just cut out the excess. Roll them out the size you want them. Now you're gonna wrap your trim around where you want it. Like that. Do the same thing for the other. So now you've got your trim. Feel free to use some liquid clay or liquid Sculpey or Sculpey Bacon Bond, whatever you have, liquid clay, you know what I'm talking about. And use that as a adhesive so you don't ruin a lot of your detail. And place it on your lighter cover. Be careful not to ruin the trim or the detail, because your lighter might flatten out a bit in the oven, but not too much, just more so the trim. A little Pokeball lighter. Okay, now for the baking process. Now it's time for the baking process. My Sculpey clay requires 15 minutes in the oven at 275 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not put your lighter in the oven. The reason why I have this foil is so you can simply take it out of its shell before you bake it, place it on its back, and bake it for your clay's required time. Now what you can do while your oven is preheating is stick this in the oven, not in the oven, stick this in the fridge so it holds its shape and hardens, so that way it doesn't like fall over and, in the oven, so it maintains its shape. So I will come back to you after it's done. Okay guys, so the lighter is out of the oven. And now I'm going to remove the foil since that's what I baked it in instead of the lighter. Like I said, don't ever cook with the lighter on it. So sometimes it does break off, so sometimes I like to put a toothpick in there or a tool to get it out, but be careful not to crush it. And just pretty much get a good grip on it. Get it off the edges, so I'm gonna get a tool. Okay, now there's still a teeny bit on of tin foil in there, just tiny bit. So that way you can stick it on the lighter. It's a little bit snug, so that's good because it got a little bit snug in the oven. And just place it on there, and of course you're welcome to glaze it. Probably won't glaze it on video because you already know what to do next. So I'm glad that I could do this tutorial for you all and show you how the process of a lighter cover is done. So be safe and have fun.